Your segue, in terms of your aspirations, because one of the things that strikes me about your repertoire and indeed your sort of your body of work is that the potential for crossover and the potential for mainstream is always there, but also the love of the pure art form of battle rap and of lyricism and of rhyming, and like you say, your love of the English language. When you see things like, again, I'm probably dating myself here. I don't know if the kids still watch this stuff, but there's something called Epic Rap Battles of History, which was on YouTube
Yeah.
for a long time, and I used to love them because of just how absurd and insane they were, and plus
Yeah.
you see the behind the scenes and how much fun they fucking had. It was great, but then you also see like in a weird way, like the Eminem MGK thing really captured the imagination of people in a sense of, oh, who's going to win?
Yeah.
Oh, who's going to release the next diss trap? And then you see them do interviews, and it almost became a weird cycle in of itself. What are your aspirations? Would you like what when not all said and done? I wish you a long and prosperous life until you're 150, of course. But like, what do you hope is the pinnacle for you? Like,
The end game kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, in terms of what I mean, what do you hope to accomplish by pursuing what you're pursuing at the moment?
It's a difficult question, really, and
What's
like,
realistic versus what you want to happen is obviously
yeah,
often different
exactly.
things,
Like,
of
I mean,
course.
like, obviously, what I would love is that I release an album and it goes mega, and then I just live off that for the rest of my life and write other bits of music. You know, that would be great. Or replace any one of those things, like, let's say TikTok went mega, and then I just could just do TikTok videos for
Right.
for every day, or the book goes international and I just make it, whatever sort of happens first, I will just pursue that for the rest of my life, I imagine.
Okay.
If my next if mine and Jamie's next book goes huge, then I would somehow incorporate that into where I'm going. So I'm kind of changeable in that like I've got a lot of different things going on, and all of them I would be happy to pursue for the rest of my life. I think if I had it completely my way and I could do whatever, then I would love to start at the ground um, zero kind of thing, and like make a musical and have
Wow,
like a
really?
big musical production that is like, yeah, work with the contacts I have, Lloyd, my producer, for example, and other people who I've met, to make a sort of a funny rap musical sort of situation, which is something I've been thinking about for years, and another project I started in lockdown and sort of got through but didn't finish, because it's so big and there's so much stuff that goes into a musical, even more, way more than an EP or a battle or an hour at Fringe or
Well,
anything like that. That's sort of,
South Park guys said that the musical they did, The Book of Mormon, was twice as hard as any series that they've ever done of South Park, and that's a
right.
whole year's worth of work. So that
Yeah.
speaks to
I mean, I'm
that.
not
So
surprised. And I've seen that live, and it's an incredible and incredibly funny performance. It's amazing, and that was one of the inspirations for me to want to make something as well. And it's just to create something again. It's the legitimacy behind it for me. Like a book is great, an album is great. I'm so happy of those things. Having the YouTube sort of like history and all those kind of things. Really proud of them. There's something super legit to me about a musical, like the idea of having a cast and directing people to enact your vision, and repeat performances, and something that people would come to see, and you can't see it, or you can't just download it and see it. Like, even making I've made short films and stuff, I've made things like that, and I'm very proud of those. But again, there's something specific about the idea of people coming to one location where you've made something and orchestrated it. Everything's sort of under your control. The performances, the comedy, the lyrics, the music, everything is sort of, I would have had a hand in. And so for me, that would be the purest version of something I could make. And when
Wow.
I say I mean like, you know, there would be a team,
Sure, but
obviously.
spearheading you know, your concept. I mean, do you have any
I would hope,
concepts that
yeah,
you would want to I mean, again, the Book of Mormon is a fascinating original concept because of
yeah,
who it comes from, but then it becomes unsurprising when you consider where it comes from. But
yeah.
when it comes
And
to
yeah,
what you're
I've got some like concepts that I've started on.
you're not making a Power
Uh,
Rangers musical. That's what I'm asking, right?
Not yet. Not That's not the first
Please,
one I'll go with.
God, I've had enough of my childhood being butchered, Shuffle. I can't see you now turn to guys. Hear me out. Postman Pat, right? What's the one thing we've never seen him do? He ain't been in a musical. You know who else hasn't been in a musical? Fireman Sam. Let's make the crossover happen.
Crossover.
I can't take any more of this crossover rehash bullshit. It's just too much. You know, like it's just at some point like they're gonna bring back everything from the 1990s, just call it 2030 and just go fuck it, just rewatch Will
This
Smith.
again.
No, he's
This
always
shit.
been this young. Don't worry, just watch it and just over a new film. Do you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
so like, what do you have any concepts that you would like to play within the musical format, or are you still kind of hashing that out?
No, I've got some concepts I'd like to play with, and like I'm sort of working on one at the moment, which is sort of like a bit of a pastiche on sort of like Agatha Christie esque sort of mystery, sort of what they call murder mysteries. Um, so like, you know, I watch a lot of like Poirot and Miss Marple and those kind of things. I got introduced into like my wife and her family are really into them, and
Columbo
so
fan
yeah.
personally, so you know you can
Oh,
keep your
okay, yeah.
Poirots and stuff, but you know the one. Listen, Peter Falk is just he's a fucking treasure, so I
He
can't
is
not
great.
like
He
the
is
guy. So
great. But yeah, I think like it was that for me, and like the idea of there's always like Death on the Nile or you know things like that, and I wanted to do Death as Spoons and just have a Weatherspoons as the location that someone dies, and then have like a murder mystery, which is sort of like wrapped by all the different people involved, but everyone's also sort of pissed, and so they're trying to get to the bottom of this thing, and but everyone's just like kind of out of their minds, drunk. So that was one concept, and one I had a couple of years ago because I noticed that like well not noticed but there's a common thread in musicals that there's like often like a political sort of bent or like a revolution sort of happening in the background like
sure.
Les Mis and you know Hamilton obviously and a few others and so I wanted to do like a revolution happening of like spiders against humans and just have like this really poorly produced spider outfit worn by lots of different people as like this sort of like revolution happens where spiders kill all the people but again like all grounded in this stupid silly kind of world where everyone's kind of serious about it but obviously that's the ridiculousness and stuff like that. So again, like I got a couple of songs in through that, and I was really enjoying the process, but I think that was maybe too silly. But this latest one, I would love to do, and I'm working on a musical at the moment. I'm not sure how much I can talk about it. It's not my own thing; it's someone else's idea. Um, and me and my friend Rob are working on that, which is a lot of fun, and the process is super fun, and
I can
and
imagine that the performative aspect, the musical aspect, the writing process, the production elements. It does sound like that's it. It caught me off guard, but that makes perfect sense from your perspective as like
for
what
me,
the
it's sort of like
most fulfilling
yeah,
project
it's
would be.
all these kind of like whenever I look at the battles that I've done and like my favorite moments and what seems to resonate most with the crowd, it tends to be the rhyming, sketchy style, sort of like over, you know, much more performative than usual, not necessarily even attacking the opponent, just more sort of like talking with, you know, or like at them, like they're a member of the audience as well, and just sort of like, you know, really performative, high concept things. And I think a version of that makes sense is a musical. That's just like an exaggerated version of what I sort of already do as my particular strength. And so, if there's a way to integrate that and make something out of it, then that's where I see myself ending up if I had it my way. I just need to one, get the motivation to do it and finish writing something that you can't see in realization for a long time down the road, and also, I guess, believe in a concept enough to take it to that level in the first place as well. So that's the difficulty there.
That's I hate when podcasters say that's crazy, man. Yeah, that's
That's
crazy,
crazy,
man.
bro.
I fucking hate that saying because it's basically them saying I don't know what to say next, but I want to acknowledge it and say that it was a good thing because that is again that makes perfect sense within the context of what you do, what you love, and what you're good at. I'd be excited to say maybe not the spiders one, bit of an arachnophobic to be perfectly honest with you. So you might be on your own with that one, unless there's like a kid-friendly one I can attend and just say, yeah, I've got a
I'll
kid,
make a PG
kids,
version.
kids not here right now, but you know, I'm just going to stay for this version though. If it's all the same, I'll pay the ticket. You know, it's kind of hard to get the transfer up because they're cheap. You know what I mean?